Aloha from Honolulu, Hawaii. So guys, this is the first stop on my about 3 month adventure, this nomadic lifestyle that I've decided to adopt for the rest of 2019. I'm hopping from city to city, country to country. It was time to leave LA. I wanted something new, some new experiences. So you know what that means. I'm in a new place, so of course I have to do a video on gay dating here in Hawaii. By the way, I don't know if you can tell, it looks like the lighting is actually helping me not look as sunburned as I actually am, but very embarrassing. Tourist troubles 101. Tourist stupidity 101. I'm basically the same color as my shirt here on my shoulders. Very embarrassing. But anyway, guys. So Hawaii. I didn't know what to expect with Hawaii. Meaning, it's this remote, isolated place that has its own culture. You know, we can, dare I say, call it exotic. I thought, okay, typically island type places where the weather is warm and people therefore are literally wearing less clothes, and when the sun is out, it tends to lead to a culture that's more open and sexy and progressive, and people are more laid back and not as conservative. Just from my observations from different places around the world. So I thought maybe it'll be progressive and open and very LGBT friendly. But then another part of me thought, well, sometimes those kinds of places, like certain islands, let's say Jamaica, right? Sometimes their culture is still so, the original culture, the native culture is so firmly rooted in the current culture that there are still these very like conservative, archaic values. I'm gonna call them values. So I didn't know what to expect with Hawaii. I thought I could go one way or the other. And truthfully, I think my experiences so far are actually reflective of that uncertainty that I had coming here, in that it really is like a mixed bag. So for starters, checking out the gay bars here, I was pleasantly surprised that there actually were a number of them in the heart of Honolulu. Some of them like officially gay bars with rainbow flags and the whole bit, and then some of them like gay friendly. You know how on like Google Maps, it'll come up as a gay bar, but it doesn't like officially publicize itself as a gay bar. A lot of those types of establishments here. So of course that's a good sign, right? If in the heart of the city you see rainbow flags and you see gay bars and that kind of thing, then it means there's a community here, A, and B, they're open and welcoming. So I went to a gay bar here on a Sunday late afternoon, like happy hour-ish, and it was actually pretty busy. And then I went to another gay bar on a Monday night. And I know what you're thinking, why would you go out to a bar on a Monday night? But I'm here on a weird set of days, and honestly all the other nights I was so wiped out just from being jet lagged and from being out in the sun all day. So I ended up going out on a Monday night, and that night it was dull. Like the bar that I went to, which is one of the more popular gay bars here, there were like, I don't know, 6 people at the bar, and it seemed to be a hodgepodge of tourists, a mix of tourists and locals. So of course it was a Monday night. Probably just because it was a Monday night, it was that dead. But in my mind, I thought a place like Hawaii and Honolulu specifically, it's such a big like tourist trap that I just assumed it would be one of those places where there's always people at the bars, at the restaurants, because there's just always so many tourists around. But I was wrong. So the gay bars left me feeling, I guess, bittersweet, because I thought, okay, there is a presence here, but it's not necessarily like packing. Now when it comes to the apps, I was again pleasantly surprised by the number of gay people that there were that I was swiping through on Tinder. It's not like, you know, there were thousands of people to sift through. I think went through everybody in one day. But I've been to cities that I thought there would be a bigger presence in, and found that there were actually fewer people to swipe through, fewer gay men on the apps than here in Honolulu. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. What I found kind of neat looking at the different guys on the dating apps was that there's such a unique aesthetic here, right? Because it's a blend of people with native origins, and then of course tourists and people who have moved here, immigrated here over time from either different parts of the USA or just, I guess, different countries over time. So it's an interesting place aesthetically. Like I have seen people here who look unlike anybody I've ever seen in the world, like obviously that I've seen in movies and TV, but never in real life. And like all mixed people, and I say this as a mixed person, you have some people who look kind of unusual, like unusually interesting, but not necessarily what I think most people would be attracted to. And then you have people who are like stunning, because you've never seen people who look like that. Like I kept thinking of Nicole Scherzinger, and I keep seeing girls who remind me of Nicole Scherzinger, who just look so beautifully unique and kind of like a hybrid of all races. So that is one cool thing about Hawaii, that it's the first time I've been somewhere where I'm looking at people who I've never seen people who look like this, and I've never seen such a high number of people with these unique features. So I kept kind of swiping through, and then I checked out Grindr, and again, kind of like the bars, it's interesting. I went from, wow, there's a big community here, to, oh, like, well, this is disappointing. So on Grindr, I don't know if it's just because I've been living in big cities for a while now, but I was shocked by how many empty profiles there were on Grindr. Like either empty, no profile picture, or cropped, faces cropped out, or like it's really blurry. And of course that's code for like, they're incognito, they're discreet, they don't want to be seen publicly on an app like this. So that's classic Grindr, right? But I don't know that I've ever been somewhere where there have been this many ambiguous profiles or empty profiles. I mean, one night I went to bed, woke up the next morning, and I had like 20 messages or 20 notifications from Grindr, and I was like, oh, let's check out, the messages. Every message I received was from an empty profile. And I'm like, what are these people thinking that like I'm gonna have any interest in somebody who doesn't show themselves and I have no idea what they're about and like what they look like? Like, it's just crazy to me. I even had one guy reach out who was sending me like pretty pictures of Hawaii, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. I think it's just a very different vibe here, like coming from the big cities, New York City, LA, even Miami. They know what they want when they're on these apps. Well, most of the time, not always, but a lot of the times people want what they want and they go after it. But here it is such like an island culture where people are just laid back and taking their time, that I think, or I assume, that a lot of people just kind of like want to engage in conversation without thinking like the person on the other end doesn't want to waste their time. So I thought that was very interesting, because the more sort of discreet or like download type people you have in a place, usually the more conservative it implies the culture is. So I think I was right with my initial assumption that yes, there's a progressive element to Hawaii, and it's open and it's fun and laid back, but it does seem like there is a conservative segment to the community here, because I just have never in my life opened up Grindr or any app and seen so many like mystery men reach out to me. So Hawaii overall I think is an interesting place as a gay person to explore, because it's just different. Like I don't know what to compare it to, both aesthetically and culturally, but it doesn't seem like gay dating here would be that fun or easy to navigate. I was hoping to like stumble upon some, 6'2" chiseled surfers. I don't know where they are. Maybe those are the mystery men who reached out to me on Grindr. Who knows? I'll never know, because I don't respond to those kinds of empty profiles. I think it's weird. Like, don't waste my time. That is my experience with Hawaii, guys. Stay tuned for more gay dating videos, and I'm excited for this journey for the rest of the year that I'm hopping around all these different places. By the way, if you have any interest in keeping up with my travels from a picturesque perspective and not just like my gay tourist experiences, feel free to check out my Instagram on VillageKev on Instagram, and there I'm putting up like pictures and stuff like that from all my different pit stops. So stay tuned, guys. See you next time.